Thank you.
Hey, it's good to see everyone here. Cedric, wonderful presentation, and all the friends I have here around, just seeing the faces, so fun to be back with you. And I want to give you an update. I personally turned in my retirement letter and it got accepted this week. So I've got 24 days to work. Now that kind of is a special situation. I only work 1 day a week. So I told them I'd work till the end of December. We'll see how it goes. I may still see some people after that and keep my license, but I want to be able to devote full time to ONPASSIVE. We talked a lot today about cutting back and slimming down, and Red said he pretty much gave up everything else to do ONPASSIVE. And that's what I've decided to do also. My other MLM and side businesses, I had about 5 or 6 of them going when I started ONPASSIVE, and one by one, they've all slid by the wayside as the ONPASSIVE message gets clearer and I understand it better. It's got the most unique structure. Ash was talking when I was in Orlando in his office, and you remember when he cut those pieces of paper up and put every one of the O's on them and started spreading them around? Well, in that same few minutes, that same time, and that video just got put up on the web recently, so it's out there now. And that little snippet where he was cutting up that paper talks about the one thing that Ash asked me, what is it that if you had a superpower, what would you want? And I would want to have everybody understand that this is not your ordinary opportunity. It's unique. The uniqueness of this opportunity should not be missed. And I know, and you know, that most people you talk to miss it. They do not understand how significant this opportunity, this blessing is that we're offering people. It hurts me. My heart hurts when I present this to somebody that I know and love, and they don't accept it. That's how bad I feel, because I know what's going to happen positively for the company to grow, and all they have to do is put in their 97. And so that's the one issue. You know, I'm always talking to people about timing. It's coming. Jump in before it starts, you know, before the launch. And so I know you feel like I do a lot of times. You feel like the boy who cried wolf. You told people it's coming. You told people it's going to launch soon. Sometimes we make a mistake and say we think it'll launch by the end of 2020. Sometimes we say we think it'll launch by Easter. And so we indicate maybe a date, and that's really worse. So we've learned not to give dates and specific times because we're looking for excellence, not a date to launch by. But I know that people get burned by having friends understand that the boy who cried wolf never gets listened to. And we all run through our friends, they all join, they want to join, and then we kind of run up against a wall. We can't find anybody else to get in that's in our friend group because, you know, we've been saying it's going to go for 3 years now. Or in my case, 1.5 years. I've been in 1.5 years. And, you know, you have to go back to the potential and you say, this still has the most potential of anything that we've ever been involved with. I got involved in March of 2020, and I started telling my friends about the MSIs, multiple sources of income that they could have. And I was talking right then about having a position in ONPASSIVE, which was an MSI for their whole life to go along with other things they were doing, because I was doing 5 or 6 other things at the time. A dental practice, a health product, and I was also doing marketing for some dental marketing companies, so a lot of things. But when I started talking about MSIs, I was only talking about one position in ONPASSIVE as one of my MSIs. And so as I put other things to bed and started focusing on passive, I've come to believe we have an opportunity for multiple MSIs within ONPASSIVE. It's not just multiplying your other business plus letting your position be multiplied by ONPASSIVE. Think about it this way. Every position you buy is a separate MSI. And so I've been telling people to do the family legacy, family dynasty thing for over a year now. I've been preaching, you're not fully invested in ONPASSIVE if you don't have your entire family with a position. So a lot of people have doubled, tripled the number of positions they have because of that. This last week, I wrote a post that was talking about MSIs in another way. Ash has 50 products that we're going to roll out. Okay, each one of those is an MSI. Each one of those. So I wrote a post that said if you had 10 positions and the 50 products, that means you actually have 500 MSIs because there are 500 different products that people want. When you have 10 positions marketing those 50, that's 500. Now, what if 3 or 4 months later, ONPASSIVE or you, by your effort, puts in 100 new customers underneath, and you're going to get a commission off of all those customers. And so it goes from 500 MSIs to 5,500 MSIs paying you money. 3 or 4 months later, those 600, 700 different people that have joined are going to be having more customers under them. And as they do, you're up to 55,000 multiple sources of income where you get a piece of every one of the sales. 3 or 4 months later, it might go up. You have 10,000 members in your team. I expect to have thousands of people added per month. And if you keep expecting that, it's going to happen. And so you're up to 500,000 MSIs with those 50 products, with those 10,000 customers. It just keeps going. And so there's conversation that's been bandied about back and forth on some Messenger and some Telegram and places about, well, you can get this product for free over here. Why would you buy ONPASSIVE? Or everybody's wanting to know the small ball answer. Well, the thing is, ONPASSIVE is a home run. ONPASSIVE knocks it out of the park. We're not hitting singles here. And the final thing I want to tell you about is I always, as a dentist, I always start with the end in mind. And I want to create something. I figure out what I want to create, and I see it in my mind before I start. And so it's a lot like Michelangelo. When he looked at that marble, he didn't see a chunk of marble. He saw David inside the marble. And he chipped away everything that was not David. And when David showed up, everything that was not David had been chipped away, had been discarded. And that's what we have to do in our lives, is we have to look at the final thing we want, and we have to exclude everything in our life that keeps us from getting to that place. Don't be sidetracked by the shiny objects or go down the rabbit trails, other things that might tend to entice us to go this way or that way. I mean, we might be enticed to put some money in the Bitcoin market and try to make a big impact. But I looked at it the other day and I go, I can put $100 here and it might go up to $200 if I was, 100% return. But if I put $100 in ONPASSIVE, it might go up to $1 million, but not just one time. Every month, when it goes up to $1 million, it'll be $1 million the next month and the next month. So it might take about 3 or 4 or 5 years to get to $1 million. We don't know. But one position will be $1 million business in a year for the income for a year. And then the next year it might be 2 million. It's going to grow. So start with the end in mind, take away everything that's not there, and you'll end up with quite a result. And so ONPASSIVE to me is like the statue of David. It's perfect in every way, and it's made by a master artist. And what we've got in our hands is a priceless piece of art.